Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And one of the best things about this channel is we're absolutely raw, 100% honest. We do not talk about topics beforehand. There may be some fisticuffs before the end of this one over here. I've already warned Mr. Magazine that I am going to come at him hard in this episode. I think he can handle it. A few years ago, maybe you wouldn't have. I'm going to ask you something, Mr. Magazine.
Okay.
Have you ever heard the expression, stepping over dollars to pick up pennies?
Isn't it like penny wise, pound foolish?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Essentially the same thing. You are talking about going over to whatnot.
Yes.
You, however, you do have the understanding, and I might have been exaggerating a little bit, but what I've always told you and anybody out there is expect not to make money for the first year.
Yeah.
Now, I might have been exaggerating on that. Maybe I'll make money sooner than that, but kind of look at it as being a trial run.
Right.
And you don't want to lose money on the site, is what you have said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not over and over and over for a year, meaning, you know, if I have, and I don't care if I have $1 or $100 into a lot that we're putting up there, but if I'm grossing $50 and I got to pay the employee $100 every time to do this time and time again, I'm losing $50 every shot. Well, I don't want to do that for a whole year if that's really that's going to happen.
Okay.
If that makes sense. If I'm breaking even, I don't mind breaking even if I'm growing my business and eventually
Your
we'll
presence,
make money.
right. All right, Mr. Magazine.
Okay.
I want to give you some numbers.
Sure.
I'm going to say, and I made this up, I don't think you're going to be doing this amount, but let's say that you gave somebody $100 an auction.
Okay.
To run the auction for you.
Yeah.
They curate the auction, put the auction up, do the auction, pack the stuff afterwards. You have $100 invested in them.
Okay.
Per auction.
Yep.
They can do it Monday through Friday.
Okay.
You do 5 auctions a week.
Okay.
I'm going to put you on the spot right here.
Yep.
How much are you paying out per week?
$500.
Nice. If you do it for 1 year, 52 weeks.
25,000 roughly.
26,000, yeah. So 25,000, you take Christmas week off.
Sure.
You go and you pay me, and I'm just using me as an example, $25,000, $26,000 this year over to the next year. We start January 1st and we're at the end of the year.
Okay.
You pay me $26,000.
Okay.
I do 5 times, 260 auctions for you.
Okay.
You sell 0. Okay. All right. At that point, yes, I would agree whatnot's not for you. But you're not going to sell 0. But whatever reason, you sell $0 worth of stuff. Some
even half,
amazing
even
thing.
Half of that.
You're out $26,000. You've lost $26,000 on whatnot somehow, which again would not happen in that instance.
Yeah.
What are your overall sales last year, Mr. Magazine? $2 million.
Yeah.
That would be essentially 1%. So you're at essentially 1%.
Which I can expense as a business expense. Yeah.
Yep. I started on Whatnot, obviously at 0, as everybody else did. At this point, Whatnot is roughly 15% of my sales.
Okay.
What would 15% of $2 million be?
$250,000?
$300,000, yeah. $300,000 potentially in sales if you get it to where I am, which is just 15% of my sales.
Sure.
I don't think you've looked at it that way.
Right.
I don't think you've actually looked at the numbers that way. That, and again, you're not going to run 5 auctions a week and sell 0. Right. You might run 1 auction, sell 0, and say, okay, what do we change? What do we have to change? Change up along the way.
I'm already thinking ahead and making adjustments. Because obviously, I don't want to get to 52 weeks and not have any sales. So
that will not
knowing
happen.
Me, after like 2 or 3 weeks, I'm making adjustments.
After 48 weeks, I'll buy something out of pity.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
But what I'm thinking is like, okay, selling these lots of 545s for $1 a piece for $5 isn't cutting it. They don't want it. And I have 100,000 45s. Do I want to bump it up to 20 45s for $10? Something where eventually I'm going to market it where they're going to want it at some point. At some point, someone out there's going to want some price point. Or do I have to spend a few hours a week prepping this before it gets prepped by my whatnot seller or you or whoever?
Right.
Meaning, okay, here's an Elvis one, here's a Beatles one. Now we got to put some better ones. We got to put some quality ones into these lots because no one wants them if it's just Don Gibson and Shirley Temple and the Beach Boys common. So they don't want common stuff or 5 or 10 or 20. I got to spruce it up and market it a little better. So, which I would certainly do that.
Can I interrupt you?
Sure.
You're not going to have 52 weeks of $0 sales with that attitude.
Thank you.
You're not. Because, again, you're going to change things up.
Yeah.
And Do you remember where I started selling at and whatnot? What category?
I don't remember books.
You came to the first show.
Did I? What was it?
Comic books.
Oh, okay. There you go. And that's one thing now I wouldn't sell because I had, not that I have junky comic books, the ones I'd be willing to sell on lots probably wouldn't sell for much, and I would do better on Amazon,
Right.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, you know, and we have a comic seller, and we're building up our comic base on Amazon, which I'm happy with. We're buying, you know, we bought a few big comic collections, but like the 45s, there's a room with 100,000 45s, and it's been sitting there for 7 years since we had the warehouse. I got nothing into them at this point. Whatever I get out of them, I'm happy. I could care less. You know, I have no other outlet. Putting them on Amazon or eBay, slow tail, big time.
Yeah. But again, you might find that 45s Monday and Wednesday work great, and Tuesday is just clean out the garage day, and you do like we did the Scotty Dog auction. You just do miscellaneous, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, people really love the Tuesday auctions.
Yeah.
And you never know.
Yeah, certainly 33s we could do. I probably got 50,000 of those. You know, again, part of it I have to be invested in my time. It's some amount of time. I can't just say, hey, go do this, unless my whatnot seller is a record expert. You know, then I can. But most likely it's not going to happen.
Right. But again, I guess we're not going to come to fisticuffs. Well, now that you're light, you fly away when I hit you.
Exactly.
But I just wanted you to think about it, and everybody out there to think about it. Again, that would be the worst case scenario, which absolutely would never happen. You're talking 1%.
Yeah.
It's worth the risk. And if you're out there and you're on the fence saying, should I do this? Should I do it? Look at the bigger picture. Again, 15% of my sales are now whatnot from zero a couple of years ago. There is tremendous upside potential. Worst case, Mr. Magazine, are you out there, you pull the plug on it after a few months and you go, okay, this just isn't for me. And that's completely fine. But again, I did just want to bring those numbers up to you, Mr. Magazine. I don't think you had thought about that before.
Cool. Yeah.
So
makes sense. I could use that help.
There you go.
Compensate my poor eBay sales.
There you go. And you could also, everybody can help us by hitting the like button.
For sure.
And we'll see you next video.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.